So I had to stop working in the last year because I had COVID, and seems like I'm still dealing with the effects of it. And I felt bad because in the times I get my groceries delivered, I would like to tip more. And a part of me feels bad for not being able to. And since I've gotten groceries like every few weeks, and it's happened so many times where I haven't been able to tip as much as I'd like to. What actually started changing is in the last two deliveries that I got, something must have changed in me, because I started actually saying like, hey, like, I'm not earning right now, so I'm sorry. Or I've even said in the last order, right? Today I actually had like a long a pretty decent conversation, so that's why it came up. But in the last order, I said, like, I was like, I'm sorry. I was like, I don't have a lot of money right now, so I didn't tip you. And that's how I said it. And it just reminded me. Today I just got another delivery right now, and I said, I was talking about my health and how I had to stop working, and that's why I couldn't tip that much, and how I was sorry, and that I would genuinely pray for that person forever, because I really will. And after that, I kind of walked back into the house thinking like how it reminded me of sales, because the more human you become, the better you become at sales. And this is really one of the truths that I think our era now is significantly changing. That to actually really be good at sales, you actually just have to be as human as possible, right? So to even call out any discomfort, right, in yourself or that you sense in somebody else, right away. And what happens is, like, if I think about myself, and in the past orders where I would have like this thought that I wish I could tip more, but then the person would come and I'll sort of feel guilty in my interaction with them, but not actually say anything. What actually has changed is, well, in the interaction now, I feel like I am more in my heart, and I can actually just be like even truer to them and love them even more, despite the fact that I didn't tip them as much, right? Or as much as I would like to. And what that allows for is just a real connection, and more connection, and greater connection. And I think that's really what all of our relationships and interactions are trying to bring out in us, is just deeper and truer and realer connection. And the way that actually occurs is when we get past like the blockages in ourselves that are really that some idea that we have, right? Something that's keeping us from actually being our truth. And again, that's like millions of layers, millions of beliefs, millions of thoughts, right? And eventually what is something that is very, very useful is just practice, right? So the experience, and that was a bird flying overhead for confirmation. But just experiencing that thing so many times where we actually get the chance to be more vulnerable, right? And that's why connection is so valuable. And not just connection, right? It doesn't just have to be connection to other people, because, well, in the connection that maybe you don't have that many delivery experiences or whatever it is, but connection to yourself, you'll find that the more you engage in that, the better you're able to connect with anybody else. And the more like you are in your heart, right? Like the more true and the more real you are, right? The realer you become, because you're in your heart, you're in the truth of you. So I'm wondering, what are sort of the things, right, that we can do. And for me, a lot of that connection it's whatever you do that really allows you to connect to, like, that helps you become present, right? However you connect to yourself, whether it's journaling, meditation, moving your body, speaking, writing, any kind of craft, hobby, working, talking to somebody, mowing the lawn, gardening, right? Like whatever that is for you, it's so powerful. Because any time that you spend in communion with yourself, right? And really that's the purpose of prayer, right? It's to be with yourself and then to raise your vibration, right? To raise your frequency, to be on the universal frequency, right? It's not ultimately the asking for something, right, that makes it come true. It's like, it's the state that we're in that makes it come true. We become the answers to the prayers that we ask. And so a lot of prayer or a lot of connection is really just getting yourself into that state where you become the person who is the answer to what you seek. And then, you realize, oh my gosh, it was just me all along, And prayer and these things of connection, these moments of connection, what they do is they really just remind us. And so here's to more connection. And then just even like the willingness and the desire, like to be more true, like to be more vulnerable, right? To like let yourself feel, right? And I know how connection, like even one interaction with somebody else that really puts you in your heart, oh my gosh, it changes you, right? Now imagine like if you had that with your partner all the time, right? And maybe you're close to your partner but not as much to your mom or your parent, right? But then you had that connection with your partner all the time, and then when you went in front of your mother, like you felt like you were braver in front of your mom, or you were braver in front of the delivery person, right? To tell the truth, to be your truth. And there's something so powerful about connection, man. Like it really is, like it is the reason we are here. Fundamentally, it is the reason we are here, right? It is connection. It is connection to what we are, to the truth of what we are. So I love you. And when we connect, that's exactly like true connection, right? What we experience, what we are experiencing in true connection is the truth of who we are, of what we are. And that's only something that we experience in connection, right? So connection to yourself, right? Which is synonymous with connection to God. And it's also the same when you're connecting with every anyone else. It's literally connection. It is that vehicle of truth. Okay, I love you. That was a lot. Bye.